All right, well, hello. I am live, just double checking that. Welcome. I'm Dean the Turkey Legster, and this is Once Upon a Turkey Leg. Happy Thursday. Once again, not just any Thursday. This week, this happens to be Halloween night. Happy Halloween, everybody. And the Great Pumpkin is coming. The Great Pumpkin is coming, and you might be waiting for the Great Pumpkin, or you might be out trick or treating and getting treats or bags full of rocks, or maybe not. Maybe you just, like me, you got a little bit of candy and kept it for yourself. This is my um, this is my favorite Halloween kind of iteration, if you will. Halloween sub-theme is the peanuts. When it comes to these, the end of the year holidays, I really love having the peanuts there, you know, as part of the theme and the holiday, the decor. So I am sporting my Mickey's Pumpkin Patch t-shirt here from Lake Buena Visitors. So let me say hello to, I've got a couple of friends in the chat. I've got Tina McNeil. Hello, Tina. And also to Chuck. Hello, Chuck. Happy Thursday and happy Halloween. Gloria Thibodeau. Hello. Mike Beachman. Hello, hello. Happy Thursday and happy Halloween. And anyone watching on the replay, if you are watching on the replay, if you would leave me a comment below, let me know that you were watching. And then, of course, everyone watching live or on the replay, make sure you bop that like button. I'm going to get into the stories in just a few minutes. Not a few minutes, a minute. I'd like to show you something, even though it is Halloween. I went for a little road trip this morning. I woke up at I was up at like 4:45 this morning. Yeah, that's early. And I went out to the beach. I went out to New Smyrna, and I did do a pop-up live stream. It is on the channel this morning. It's a little 30 or so minutes out on the beach. And it was just really awesome. It was at a park that I have not been to, and I've only been there once. It was during the summer. It was really hot, and so it was really great to go first thing in the morning to see a sunrise, and to also enjoy the beach when it's not scorching hot like it is a lot of the time in Florida. But um, on the way home, you go by Buc-ee's in Daytona Beach. Well, you actually don't go by um, Buc-ee's. You have to keep going north, but I was almost there, so I went, and I didn't get a Halloween item. And I know I'm mixing holidays, but I've seen so many posts and things about people that are already getting their Christmas on, and So I'm gonna not go quite that crazy. Let me show you what I got. I didn't open it yet, but I got a blanket. This believe, oh, it did something. Okay. Bucky's blanket. The magic of Christmas. Believe in the magic of Christmas. And it's so nice and soft. Oh my goodness, it's so nice. So I got that. I got a couple things to eat as well. And so once I, have it unfolded and I decide to, I put it somewhere, then I'll put a picture on Instagram. And so, guys, stories. This is Once Upon a Turkey Leg. You came to hear stories, and you're probably wondering, why isn't Dean reading stories yet? It's because once I start talking, I keep talking. So let that talking be reading stories, because I have not one, not two, but 3 stories for you tonight, and they're all featuring our friends from the Peanuts. Here is another of my Peanuts cards. I've shown this before, but here you go. Very, very fun. Turn around to see the back. And yeah, the words on the top will be backwards. That's how the card is. And let me just go ahead and show this card as well that was sent to me from Dawn, the Hitchhiking Bones. Happy Halloween. Of course, that is the Peanuts there. Very fun. Very, very fun. Showing those. Now it's time for the stories, guys. Thank you for bearing with me. Our first story tonight is going to be Happy Halloween, Charlie Brown by Charles M. Schulz. Charles M. Schulz. Adapted by Jason Cooper and illustrated by Robert Pope. Charlie Brown was excited. His friend Violet had just handed him an invitation. It's for my annual Halloween party. This year there's going to be a costume contest, Violet said. I'll be there, said Charlie Brown. Meanwhile, Lucy was teaching her little brother, Rerun, all about Halloween. We wear costumes, say trick or treat, and people give us things, Lucy told him. Rerun's eyes widened. They give us things? Like a new bicycle? He asked. No, Lucy said. Probably just candy. Sometimes a quarter, sometimes an orange. I'd rather have a bike, said Rerun. I can't ride to school on an orange. Lucy's other brother, Linus, wanted to teach Rerun about Halloween, too. Most importantly, Rerun, Linus began, on Halloween, the great pumpkin will rise out of the pumpkin patch. Lucy interrupted Linus immediately. Oh, no, you don't. She pushed Linus out the door. Forget what he said, Rerun. Halloween is about having fun and candy. Charlie Brown could not decide on a costume for the party. He usually dressed as a ghost, but this year he wanted to try something different. He decided to ask for advice from his favorite beagle, Snoopy. Snoopy, you're a dog who enjoys costumes, Charlie Brown said. What should I wear to Violet's Halloween party? Hmm. Snoopy rummaged through his costume trunk. Charlie Brown decided against dressing as a firefighter, a park ranger, or a flying ace. Snoopy had one last idea. He placed a large, oddly shaped hat with a feather on Charlie Brown's head. A pirate? Charlie Brown said, surprised. He thought for a moment and said, I like it. Lucy decided Rerun needed Halloween preparation and walked him over to a neighbor's house. We need to practice your trick or treating skills. She handed him an old pillowcase. Now go ring the doorbell, hold open the pillowcase, and say trick or treat. Rerun took a deep breath and rang the doorbell. His friend Sally opened the door. My brother is practicing for Halloween, Lucy explained. Sally looked at Rerun. Okay. She waited for Rerun to say something. May I help you? She asked impatiently. I forgot the words, Rerun said. Sally growled and said, Come back when you remember, and slammed the door. Rerun stepped away, feeling embarrassed. Snoopy and Woodstock sat on the doghouse, looking over the Halloween costume Charlie Brown had pieced together. Along with the pirate hat, Charlie Brown was wearing a long velvet jacket, a puffy shirt, and big boots. Neither Snoopy nor Woodstock appeared impressed. You're right. Something is missing. Maybe a silver belt buckle. Or maybe a silver belt buckle? It's a question. Charlie Brown raced off to keep working on his costume. Mm. We'd better pick out costumes too, Snoopy thought. Woodstock chirped excitedly. Snoopy put on a mysterious black cape, popped plastic fangs in his mouth, and struck a sinister pose. How about this? I could be a vampire. Do I look scary? Woodstock laughed so hard he fell off the doghouse. Halloween had finally arrived. Lucy and Rerun were in full costumes. Rerun was dressed as a cowboy and Lucy as a regal queen. You look great, Lucy told him. Remember, give everyone a big smile and say, trick or treat. But before we go, there's something we need to do. Rerun followed Lucy to the backyard pumpkin patch. Linus held a sign that read, Welcome, Great Pumpkin. Linus, we're going trick-or-treating and then to Violet's party. Are you going to come? Lucy asked. Linus shook his head. No, thank you. I know the Great Pumpkin will show up this year. Lucy sighed. Fine, but don't expect us to save you any candy. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Lucy and Rerun left to go trick-or-treating. As they walked, Rerun smiled. Now I get it. The reason you're so concerned with us getting a lot of candy is so we will have enough to share with Linus, right? Lucy nodded. Yes, that's the reason, she said. She paused. And if you tell anyone, I'll tie you to a tree with your own lasso. Uh-uh. Charlie Brown stood nervously at Snoopy's doghouse. He still didn't feel like his costume was ready. I don't know what it is, he said. Something's wrong. Something is missing, Snoopy thought. Then Woodstock chirped up with an idea. Snoopy smiled at his friend. That's perfect. Oh, I wonder what the idea is. Charlie Brown was looking forward to seeing all his friends when he knocked on Violet's door. Violet was impressed by Charlie Brown's costume. Charlie Brown, said Violet, your costume is the best one I've seen tonight. Charlie Brown smiled. We figured out what was missing. Every good pirate needs a crew. And he turned to reveal Snoopy and Woodstock, who were dressed as pirates too. That is the end of the story. There's a sheet of fun stickers that they included in the back of the book. Really fun there. So that's the end of Happy Halloween, Charlie Brown. Oh, yeah. All right. So here come the next two stories. Now, the main event. It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. This is by Charles M. Scholes, adapted by Kara McCahon, and illustrated by Scott Geralds. Every fall, the leaves on the trees turn brown and fall off the branches. Pumpkins grow big and plump in their patches. The air grows cooler, and people start to think about their Halloween costumes. And every fall, Linus writes a very important letter. Hmm. Dear Great Pumpkin, Linus writes, I'm looking forward to your arrival on Halloween night. I hope you will bring me lots of presents. Who are you writing to? Asks Charlie Brown. The Great Pumpkin, Linus replies. On Halloween night, the Great Pumpkin rises out of his pumpkin patch and flies through the air with his bag of toys for all the children. Oh, so that's who does it. Linus's sister, Lucy, isn't happy that Linus is writing to the Great Pumpkin. You'll make me the laughing stock of the neighborhood, she complains. Hmm. But Charlie Brown's sister, Sally, doesn't think Linus is crazy. She thinks Linus is wonderful. He is her sweet baboo. Wouldn't you like to sit with me in the pumpkin patch on Halloween night and wait for the great pumpkin? Linus asks. Sally is thrilled. I love to, she tells Linus. Later that day, Charlie Brown has a surprise waiting for him in the mailbox. I got an invitation to a Halloween party, he exclaims. Lucy thinks the invitation must be a mistake. There were two lists, she tells Charlie Brown. One to invite and one not to invite. Charlie Brown knows which list he was probably on, but he decides to go to the party anyway. On Halloween night, everyone is planning to go to the party, except Linus. My blockhead brother will be out in the pumpkin patch making his yearly fool of himself, Lucy grumbles. She can't understand why Linus would choose to miss out on all the fun that Halloween has to offer by sitting around in a pumpkin patch. Everyone puts on their costumes. Lucy is dressed as a witch. Charlie Brown is dressed as a ghost. But no one can tell what he's supposed to be because he had some trouble with the scissors. Sally is also dressed as a ghost, and so is Schroeder. They figured out how to use the scissors just fine. Pigpen is dressed as a ghost too. Everyone can tell which ghost he is because a cloud of dust surrounds him. Snoopy walks by, also dressed in a costume. Who in the world is that? Asks Lucy. He's a World War I flying ace, Charlie Brown explains, sorry. Now I've seen everything, Lucy says. Lucy declares that everyone will go to trick-or-treating first and then go to the Halloween party. As they pass by the pumpkin patch, Linus sees them and gets excited, thinking they have come to wait with him. Have you come to sing pumpkin carols with me? He asks. You blockhead, Lucy yells at her brother. You're going to miss all the fun, just like last year. Don't talk like that, Linus cries. The great pumpkin will come because I am in the most sincere pumpkin patch. Oh, good grief, Lucy exclaims. She marches off with her friends. It looks like no one wants to join Linus in the pumpkin patch to wait for the great pumpkin. Except, what about Sally? Sally is torn. She doesn't want to miss out on all of the fun of trick-or-treating and a party. But Linus is her sweet baboo. What should she do? Sally runs back to the pumpkin patch. I'm glad you came back, Linus tells her. You'll see the great pumpkin with your own eyes. Linus is positive the great pumpkin will pick this patch. Why wouldn't he? The great pumpkin chooses the most sincere patch to visit every year. And how could a pumpkin patch be more sincere than this one? Sally hopes Linus is right. Meanwhile, the rest of the kids go trick-or-treating. Tricks or treats, money or eats. They yell at the first door. Everyone compares what they got. I've got 5 pieces of candy, brags Lucy. I got a chocolate bar, exclaims Patty. I got a quarter, says Violet happily. I got a rock, says Charlie Brown sadly. And that happens at every door. All the other kids get wonderful treats like candy, gum, and popcorn balls. And Charlie Brown gets rocks. Oh my. Lucy decides they have done enough trick-or-treating and it's time to go to the party. After all, everyone has a bag filled to the brim with treats. Everyone except Charlie Brown. He has a bag full of rocks. On their way to the party, they pass by the pumpkin patch again. The kids laugh at Linus and Sally, for waiting there instead of coming to the party. The great pumpkin will be here, Sally yells, defending Linus. After the kids walk by, Sally turns to Linus. All right, where is he? She asks. He'll be here, Linus assures her. I hope so, Sally replies. Think of all the fun we're missing. And the Halloween party is a lot of fun for everyone except Charlie Brown. At first, Charlie Brown thinks his night is looking up when the other kids ask him to be the model for the jack-o'-lantern. That sounds like a great honor. But then he realizes that being the model means having Violet draw a big pumpkin face on the back of his head. Oh my. Meanwhile, in the pumpkin patch, Sally is growing tired of waiting for the great pumpkin. If anyone had told me I'd be waiting in a pumpkin patch on Halloween night, I'd have said they were crazy, she complains. Just then, she and Linus hear a rumbling noise. Oh, wait, sorry, let me read that again. Just then, she and Linus hear a rumbling noise. They see a shadow emerging from the pumpkin patch. It's the great pumpkin rising up out of the pumpkin patch, Linus yells. He is so excited to see the great pumpkin that he faints. But it isn't the great pumpkin after all. It is just the World War I flying ace on his way back from a very important mission. Linus wakes up and asks Sally what happened. I was robbed, howls Sally. Halloween is over, and I missed it. She stomps out of the pumpkin patch, leaving Linus all alone to wait for the great pumpkin. Linus falls asleep waiting, and later that night, Lucy comes to bring him home and tuck him into his warm bed. The next day, Charlie Brown tries to make Linus feel better. Don't take it too hard that the great pumpkin never showed up, he tells his friend. But Linus doesn't feel let down. Just wait until next year, he tells Charlie Brown. I'll find the most sincere pumpkin patch, and I'll sit in that pumpkin patch until the great pumpkin appears. And that is the end of It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. And that is our second story tonight. And now our third and final story tonight. Let me welcome in. I think I saw Mark Langenkamp. Welcome in. Hello. Happy Halloween. Let me see. Jason Thibodeau. Welcome in. All right. All right. Here is our third and final story. The Great Pumpkin Returns by Charles M. Schulz. So, The Great Pumpkin Returns is by Charles M. Schulz, adapted by Jason Cooper, and illustrated by Scott Geralds. Every fall, while the kids in the neighborhood pick out their Halloween costumes, Linus Van Pelt sits at home and writes a very important letter. Dear Great Pumpkin, I am looking forward to your arrival on Halloween night. I will be waiting for you, as usual, in my pumpkin patch. Unfortunately, not everyone believes in the Great Pumpkin. Linus's sister, Lucy, is one of those people. Don't tell me you're writing another letter to that ridiculous fruit, Lucy says. You're the only person in the whole world who believes in that fairy tale. There's no such thing as the Great Pumpkin. Mm. Linus thinks Lucy is wrong. He's not a fairy tale, he's real, he tells her. Then Linus gets an idea. I'll show you, says Linus. I'll find someone else who believes in the Great Pumpkin, and on Halloween night, we'll wait in the pumpkin patch together. Oh, that's a good idea. Linus asks Sally if she would like to wait with him for the Great Pumpkin's return. Not again, Sally says. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, and I sue. Linus asks other friends, but is surprised to learn none of them believe in the Great Pumpkin. Not Franklin, not Pigpen, not Marcy. Sorry, Linus, I just don't believe in the Great Grape, Marcy says. Not even Linus's best friend, good old Charlie Brown, believes. Come on, Charlie Brown, you believe in the Great Pumpkin, don't you? Linus asks. Charlie Brown appreciates that this is very important to Linus, but he has to be honest. Well, says Charlie Brown, I believe that you believe in the Great Pumpkin. Does that help at all? Linus feels defeated. No one believes in the great pumpkin, Linus complains to his friend Peppermint Patty. What's a great pumpkin? Peppermint Patty asks. Linus's eyes light up. Every Halloween night, the great pumpkin arises majestically from a sincere pumpkin patch and showers his believers with presents and warm autumn wishes, he explains. Really? Asks Peppermint Patty. Yes, warm autumn wishes, Linus repeats. And presents? Peppermint Patty asks. Fabulous presents, Linus tells her. But you must have faith and accept his presence with a pure heart and deep sense of gratitude. I can do that, shouts Peppermint Patty. Peppermint Patty shakes Linus's hand excitedly. That sounds fantastic. Count me in. If there are presents, then I believe in the great pumpkin too, she says. The day before Halloween, Marcy asked Peppermint Patty for advice. What costume should I wear, sir? Astronaut or restaurant critic? You can never go wrong with circus clown, says Peppermint Patty. What will you be wearing? Marcy asks. I'm not trick or treating this year, Peppermint Patty announces. I'm waiting for the great pumpkin with Linus. Marcy thinks Peppermint Patty is making a bad decision. Don't do that, sir. The great zucchini isn't real. Pumpkin, corrects Peppermint Patty. I believe in him. I even wrote him a letter. As for trick or treating, I'll just send my Halloween candy bag with you. You can drop it off for me when it's full. At last, it's Halloween night. Linus is waiting patiently in the pumpkin patch when he sees two familiar faces, Snoopy and Woodstock. Are you waiting for the great pumpkin too? Linus asks. Snoopy shakes his head no. Sorry, old sport. We must be going, Snoopy thinks, patting Linus on the back. We are on a top secret mission. Woodstock chirps in excitement. Snoopy continues his thought. That's right. That house over there is giving out homemade popcorn balls. Ooh. Oh, oh, no, this one. Peppermint Patty finally arrives at the pumpkin patch. When's this great pumpkin guy supposed to show up? She asks. Who knows? That's part of the fun, cheers Linus. Well, I'll wait as long as I have to, just so long as I get my new baseball glove, says Peppermint Patty. That's what I asked the great pumpkin to bring me. Linus is shocked. You can't ask for something specific, he says. The great pumpkin brings whatever he chooses to bring you, if anything at all. He is benevolent and exercises his own judgment. You've insulted him. He's never going to show up now. How was I supposed to know that? Peppermint Patty hollers. It's not like you gave me a brochure to read. Linus is furious. Get out, he says. Leave this pumpkin patch. Oh dear. Oh dear. Linus looks to the sky and cries out, Forgive me, great pumpkin. I didn't mean to insult you. Bring me whatever you want, or don't. It's fine either way. Just show up this year, please. An hour passes, then another one. Linus wishes Peppermint Patty was still waiting with him. He feels embarrassed about insulting the great pumpkin and ashamed of how he treated his friend. Linus is still in the pumpkin patch when Snoopy and Woodstock return. Snoopy is carrying a plate full of homemade popcorn balls. Snoopy stops and gives Linus a popcorn ball. He thinks to himself, Poor chap, looks like he's had a rough night. Have a treat. This mission was hard on us all. Snoopy and Woodstock march back home. The next day, Linus bumps into Marcy, Charlie Brown, and Peppermint Patty. Linus looks at Peppermint Patty. I'm sorry for how I was mean to you, or for how mean I was to you. I just wanted to see the great pumpkin so badly that I lost my temper. Don't feel bad, Linus, Peppermint Patty says. There's always next year. It's always the same, complains Linus. I wait and wait, and he never shows up. I should stop believing in the great pumpkin. Oh, don't say that. Marcy now understands how upset Linus is. Don't stop believing, she tells him. Your belief in the great pumpkin makes you a dreamer. The world needs dreamers. Marcy's kindness makes Linus feel better. You're right. Next year I'll make that pumpkin patch even more sincere. Who's with me? Linus asks. Not us, says Marcy, but we are behind you. Last night wasn't all bad, Linus continues, thinking about it. After all, Snoopy did bring me a popcorn ball. You spent all night in a pumpkin patch and got a popcorn ball? Charlie Brown sighs. I went trick-or-treating for hours and only got a toothbrush. Ah, Charlie Brown. Oh boy. Well, that's the end of The Great Pumpkin Returns. Hope you all enjoyed that. Hello, Noah. Happy Halloween. Welcome in. Let me see if anyone else. Don't know if anyone else popped in. I was following the chat while I was reading. Yeah, Linus was slowly converting everyone. Very, very much. All right. Great book. Yeah, it's a great book. That's a good. I just got it last year. I found it last year and I ordered it. So last year was the debut. Of course, I'm only reading it once a year, so some of you may not remember it, or even those who are here who may have watched last year may not even remember it. Well, anyway, that does it for this stream tonight. I hope you guys have enjoyed all these stories, and that's it. I hope you've had a great day and evening tonight. Of course, tomorrow is November the 1st, and the next time you see me live, there may be a new background behind me, so come back on Tuesday for Let's Talk Turkey, and of course, next Thursday for more Once Upon a Turkey Leg. I am going to be doing, during November, the first a few weeks, Once Upon a Turkey Leg is going to be going back to Disney stories for a few weeks, and of course, because Thanksgiving is on Thursday, I do have some Thanksgiving stories for Thanksgiving night. So that's coming up in November. Got great ideas and great things planned for Let's Talk Turkey. So you all, thanks for coming in. And again, if you are watching the replay of this, make sure you leave me the comment and let me know that you're watching. Say hello. Do appreciate it. Everyone, please bop the like button for me. And if you're watching and you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. I love making new friends here on YouTube. What else? That's gonna be it for tonight, guys. Have a spookerific, gobbletastic rest of your Halloween night, and I look forward to seeing you on the channel on the next live stream. So take care, everybody. Bye-bye.